Boom! Alright, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about why I believe Tesla stock can fall even lower, even considering we have fallen. Let's get a quick price range on that. Boom. 48% from its all-time high. Okay, so we're just going to get straight into this one, you guys. As you can see in front of us, do have TSLA up on the charts, dating all the way back to early 2020. Now, why is this important? Why are we so zoomed out? It's because we are in a market full of falling knives, okay? Following the Fed meeting, there is no arguments to be made for the bulls, or at least very little, okay? And every stock across the board, every growth stock, every tech stock, you name it, it's probably in falling knife territory right now, okay? And when we're in an environment full of falling knives, you don't want to stick your hand out and try to catch those knives. You want to look for historical floors that can jump in and stop those knives for you. Okay, so we're zoomed out. We are going to take a look at a few different historical floors for Tesla and implement those into our technical analysis and our downside price targets. But we'll put a pause on that for now because I do have a few articles that I want to look over with you guys first, just to set up the fundamental ground layer for the bear argument to supplement these bearish technicals. Okay, so the first one. Elon Musk says Tesla has had a very rough quarter. It needs to rally in a leaked email. Obviously, you don't want your CEO, your famed CEO, sending out an email saying you guys had a very tough quarter. I believe every single electric EV car maker has sent out their kind of mid-quarter reports, their delivery updates, which were all terrible. Tesla's not done so yet, and I think that is intentional because they probably are having, like every single other company in the entire world, not just EVs, but pretty much every other company, they're having a terrible sales quarter, okay? Revenue's not looking too hot. So we'll go over this guy. I do want to quickly touch on the stock split. That is, I believe, an argument that the bulls think they can make, but realistically, you guys, stock splits, they do make the stock more appealing to the average Joe, to the average investor, but more and more people are at this point informed on what stock splits are. They're aware of the fact that it's kind of just a marketing ploy and it's just a shiny object for the stock. Oh, the stock's cheaper, it must be more valuable. Absolutely not. People thought that was a great tactic in like early 2020 when a lot of retail investors were just getting involved. Now it won't quite work in this environment. It does just bring liquidity and extra liquidity due to extra shares in the market. Of course, in a bull market are good news, and that can lead to further upside and stock. Kind of individually, again, retail investors being more attracted to that stock. But in a bear market, it just creates for extra liquidity and extra shares to short, if I'm being honest. Okay, so actually we don't even need to touch back on that. I pretty much just explained everything about the stock split. So that is the bear argument for the stock split. No need to get to that. So we'll just take a look at this article, read over a few short paragraphs here. We won't spend too long on this. But again, just set up that fundamental ground layer for why I believe Tesla will have a terrible sales quarter. I believe they announced earnings on July 20th, so keep a close eye out for that. Those should be, a lot more everyone's pretty disappointed, but I think they will even disappoint kind of the lower end analyst estimates on those earnings, on that earnings report, because everyone's running out of money. No one's buying Teslas. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. We'll read this guy, jump into the charts. I'll talk to you guys about price targets. And then at the very end of the video, just for fun, I do want to read over this, one of the hottest articles in the news today. Of course, does tie into Elon and Tesla. So Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla sued for $258 billion in alleged Dogecoin pyramid scheme. I think this is ridiculous, first of all. I think this is ridiculous. I think it's a ridiculous lawsuit, and I'm sure if you're already aware of this, or as you hear us read through this, you'll feel the same. But it's just something fun to look at. And again, you guys, I think is ridiculous, but in all reality, this does bring negative optics to Elon Musk. People don't read a lot of times. Again, you're just headline reading. This is a ridiculous headline. The story is equally as ridiculous, but this is absolutely not positive news for Elon Musk. Elon is so tied to Tesla that any bad news for Musk is ultimately negative news for Tesla in an already, once again, falling knife environment. Okay, so just for fun, we'll read over this guy at the end. before we do get into any of the real stuff or price targets, I do want to read over the trade alert newsletter that I sent out this morning, because Tesla was absolutely the MVP of the day for the Waves Capital portfolio. So let's read over this bad boy and then we'll dive into everything else. Okay, so bloody day in the markets. The rally we saw yesterday was quite the fake out. And at this point, it seems evident that investors across the board are accepting defeat due to the fact that there simply aren't any bull arguments to be made for the markets. I thought the certainty of aggressive rate hikes would have provided some closure for investors, which they did momentarily. Right after the Fed meeting, markets ripped. That happened back in, I think, March or April, if you guys remember that, only to be extremely sold off into the next day. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened again. But thankfully, I was also well hedged in the case that I was wrong, okay? Our Tesla puts are up roughly 90% of the time of writing, and although any existing long positions are getting crushed, the portfolio is managing to see green today. So you guys, please let me know if you are part of Waves Capital, if you're part of the newsletter portfolio group, if you had Tesla puts on deck, because those things, again, almost 2x'd in a single day. And as you can see here, I did include the thumbnail of the notorious video where I got you're always going to get hate. This one got exceptional hate because of the crazy amount of Tesla fanboys, of course, and girls. But it's finally time to short Tesla. This is why I posted this 2 months ago. I believe it was exactly on like April 14th, April 15th. Let's take a look at this actually. So it's kind of weird to super meta, right? Watching these videos. April 14th of 2022. No need to actually watch that, but shorted it 2 months ago. The stock price was at, I did include it in the newsletter, the stock price on April 14th. You guys can go back, check this for yourself. We began shorting Tesla 2 months ago when the stock was at $985. So, I mean, almost quadruple digits. It's now at $635. So obviously this has been a highly profitable trade, and those profits mean even more in this environment where the dollar is appreciating value at a rapid rate. Okay, so again, got a crazy amount of, you look at the comments on this video, there is a lot of Tesla fanboys and girls talking trash, but that's, in retrospect, this video, we beautifully called the peak. And again, just cheers to you guys if you got in on this with me. I say this in every video I talk about shorting Tesla on, and I will continue to do so. I want to make it very clear that I don't enjoy shorting Tesla, okay? I enjoy being right. And I enjoy making money. That's the name of the game. That's the nature of the beast. I love Tesla as a company. I believe Tesla will be viewed as one of the greatest companies of the century. I truly do believe that. Okay, don't own any of their cars. I honestly don't like Tesla cars that much. I love the company. I like Elon Musk. The guy is undoubtedly one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation, maybe of all time, and an absolute visionary. But again, as a trader, your job is to recognize whether a stock is overvalued or undervalued, okay, relative to the fundamentals, the macro backdrop, the technicals, et cetera, using the data set available to determine whether you believe the stock is overvalued or undervalued, and then making a trade based on that decision. And Tesla has been very, very clearly overvalued, in my opinion, for a very long time, and that is why I chose to short it. And it has been an absolute money printing machine over the past few months. Okay, so puts, put profits taken, calls been de-risked, because of course did have to de-risk some call positions today, and long-term positions have been buffed. So again, you guys, that's a big reason to have puts, even if you don't want to short, if you're not trying to make crazy amounts of money, if you're not trying to print off shorting companies, it's at least good to hedge your portfolio. Okay, I like being a bull way more than I like being a bear, but again, shorting, necessary evil, and sometimes it can be highly profitable. Okay, so save the portfolio from an absolute bloodbath today. Actually closed the day profitable while everything else was pretty much down. So again, and in the case that you do take some profits like I did, because you should always take profits whenever a position close to 2x's, that's just one of the base principles, at least in my mind, of trading. Take some profits and put them into some of your favorite long-term stock positions, because those got routed today. And you know what, 5-10 years from now, those are going to be popping off. So that is that, you guys. You guys know the drill if you want to join Waves Capital. If you want a complete breakdown of my personal portfolio, you want to know how I'm trading on a day-to-day basis, and you want multiple newsletters every single day, Trade Alert newsletter, macro analysis newsletter, and then price targets newsletter every single trading day. Check out the first link in the description box down below. That's $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. Okay. Spend a lot of time on this every day. This is my job, and I do my best to make it worth you guys' hard-earned money. So, again, appreciate it if you guys check that out. First link down below. If not, no worries at all. Appreciate you watching this video. Let's dive into the charts and talk about some of these floor price targets after we read through this. Okay, so over the weekend, Tesla CEO Elon Musk sent emails to employees, and Electric has obtained the copies. In the first email, Musk tried to instill meaning about building Tesla products to workers. And again, I do respect Musk. I think Tesla is a great company, which is what he's showing here. But again, it gets dark. We actually build great real products that people love and make their lives in the world better. That is so profound. It is an honest day's work that you can feel in your heart. Getting a little cushy, right? You getting a little TED talk. You getting a little. That's how you can tell he's really buttering him up for the punch. Whatever else is going on in this messed up world, know that at least what you're doing is pure goodness, and that I have definitely more respect and admiration for you than the richest person on Wall Street. Okay? Yeah, okay. Really, I mean, he knows what he's doing. The next email is more familiar. Musk often sends emails to rally the troops at the end of the quarter to push for deliveries, and this one is one of those emails. The CEO wrote, "It was a very tough quarter, and employees need to rally to recover." Quote, "This has been a very tough quarter, primarily due to supply chain and production challenges in China, so we need to rally hard to recover." Okay, you guys, if Elon Musk is saying this is a tough quarter, if Tesla has not yet released their delivery updates mid-month, mid-quarter, like they do pretty much every other quarter, it's probably going to be pretty damn bleak. Okay, this earnings report that's once again coming up on July 20th is probably going to be pretty bad. And I'm not going to get into we could dive into the numbers. I was thinking about diving into the numbers, looking at the year-over-year growth, and trying to actually project what the earnings might be and how significant of a decline there might be. But you just look at every single earnings report that's not directly consumer-facing like Tesla is. It's all bad. Okay, consumer-facing products like CPG goods. Okay, in the can. Software in the can. Big box retailers, which you think would be doing great, Target, Walmart, tanked. Okay, everyone's disappointing. Tesla is a luxury good. You see all the surveys coming out about spending on luxury goods. I just heard the other day, Tom Ford doing a 50% sale. That's not normal. That never happens. Okay, and I've seen surveys of like what millennial millionaires are scared and they're not spending. It's just those little things, those anecdotal pieces of evidence that show that the individuals who were buying Teslas over the past few years, when money was free, when money was a lot less scarce and a lot less relatively valuable than it is today, they don't have there's not that money going towards Teslas anymore. And it doesn't take a data analyst to see that. It takes some common sense, just looking around you, looking at what's going on. Okay, so that's that, you guys. Again, not getting into the in-depths of the S1s and the fund and the revenue metrics and whatnot, but you guys get the point there. Let's talk some technicals and let's talk about these downside targets. So my initial downside target for Tesla, I think it's very, very likely that Tesla's going to fall lower. This is a textbook dead cat bounce right here. So again, significant move down, kind of like the second wave, the two-wave pattern. Works both ways. Like a stock split, works both ways. Bull market two-wave is awesome, and in a bear market, a two-wave is tragic. Okay, so first wave, boom, followed by that little relief rally and/or dead cat bounce, usually followed by a second wave down of equal or greater magnitude. And I do think that the second wave is in store for Tesla. My first target is this orange line right here, which was Tesla's high of $500 on September 20th, following those COVID pandemic lows. Okay, so first price target is $500. I think we will definitely see some support around there. Again, that is a very significant level of resistance. I have been including this in the newsletter as well. Trade Update's been saying this for quite a while now. I do think that Tesla on the short term will come here to retest previous resistance as new support. TA 101 right there. Previous resistance, new support does perfectly coincide with that $500 level that I've had as a target for quite a long time now. On June 21st, mom's birthday, summer solstice, shorting Tesla. So, Happy birthday, mom, to me, I guess. But yeah, I do think Tesla, in the case that this does play out June 21st, we have a 3-day weekend. Keep that in mind as well. Extra volatility on top of everything else that's happening. So 3-day weekend, June 21st would take us to $500. Even if it takes a little longer than that, though, I do think Tesla will see at the very, very least a $500 price target. And I do think we're going to go lower than that. How much lower? I do think Tesla can very, very well fall down to, boom, here. Another 43% from current levels where we're at now at 640 to 360. Okay, the reason for that is because that's another previous ceiling that will once again come into play as a new floor. Again, TA 101, previous resistance, new support, previous ceiling, new floors, and vice versa on both of those. Boom, previous ceiling, probably going to come into play as a new floor around $360. That was the high we saw in midsummer, July 2020. But it's very important to realize how significantly Tesla is up, okay? So let's not even go to the all-time high right here. I had it at the all-time high, but let's see how much Tesla is up from its pre-pandemic high, which was its all-time high. Like, just look at this, you guys, okay? So this was Tesla. Tesla in June of 2019, okay, 3 years ago, was at $37. Just think about that. Tesla was at $37. If you guys were around during that time, let me know. I've been trading. I mean, I've been watching Tesla. I think I first bought freaking Tesla stock in like 2016 or 2017 or something. So I've seen Tesla, and that's why when you've been around for a while, you realize how ludicrous some of these valuations are. Okay, so Tesla again, 3 years ago was at like $30-40, all-time high after it ripped, after it absolutely popped off, was at $177. So February of 2020, we were at about $180. That was Tesla's all-time high before falling off a cliff during the pandemic, going down to $70. And then, boom, retail traders coming in, everyone just getting super manic, super crazy, and Tesla just popped off. So when you zoom out like that, and the more I'm talking myself through it and you guys through it, the more 360 seems highly, highly likely. I think $360 is very, very possible. And ultimately because, I mean, the economy is slowing down so significantly and just because the markets overall are so bleak, the S&P 500, the SPY, I believe will revisit its pre-pandemic high in early 2020 in January, February, March 2020. Tesla could see the same. Especially, again, you guys, there's so much freaking competition on the horizon for Tesla. Every car maker and the car maker's mom is creating EV vehicles. Tesla cannot compete at this scale for this long, especially in an environment, in an economy where everyone's running out of money. Okay? Amazon in the dot-com bubble pulled back 90%. One of the greatest companies of all time. Tesla could be one of the greatest companies of all time. Okay? Tesla definitely could be a multi-trillion-dollar company at some point, but that doesn't mean that it can't fall 90% from a time during absolute mania and craziness. Okay, so can Tesla see a $180 again? I absolutely think it can. Is it likely? I would say it's not likely. Do I think 360 is likely? I do think 360 is likely. Do I think 500 is likely? I think 500 is pretty much guaranteed. Okay, so that's Tesla, you guys. Again, if you want to know how I'm trading this, when I'm choosing to take profits on these puts that are just printing for us, again, check out the first link in the description box down below. Welcome to the Waves Cap fam, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about everything going on in the markets right now. Have you been shorting Tesla? Are you on board with those Tesla puts with me? And hey, if you think I'm wrong, make a thoughtful response as to why, or just call me an idiot. Doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the portfolio and in the newsletters. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.